What if some of the cells inside your body don't contain your DNA? Chimerism, because more than one genetically distinct population of cells exists within the same body. One of the best studied ways this happens is pregnancy. The placenta separates maternal and fetal circulation, but it is not an impenetrable wall. During pregnancy, small numbers of cells can cross in both directions. Cells originating from the fetus can enter the mother's circulation. Maternal cells can enter the developing fetus. Most disappear, but some survive. Wait, what? A mother can still carry cells originating from a pregnancy years after the child was born. Researchers have detected fetal origin cells decades after pregnancy. These cells have been identified in blood and in a variety of maternal tissues. And they don't necessarily just float around doing nothing. Some appear capable of persisting within tissues and may have properties that allow them to participate in biological processes. Scientists are still investigating exactly what roles they play. But the exchange goes both ways. Maternal cells can also remain inside offspring. This is called maternal microchimerism, which means the biological relationship between mother and child can leave cellular traces in both bodies. Think about that for a moment. Birth physically separates two people, but at the microscopic level, the separation may never be completely absolute. That is the first real WTF moment. Pregnancy can create a cellular connection that survives long after the umbilical cord is gone. How can scientists even find these cells? Researchers look for genetic markers that distinguish one population from another. Historically, studies of women who had carried male fetuses sometimes searched for cells containing Y chromosome sequences. Finding those sequences in maternal tissue provided evidence that cells originating from the fetus had remained. Modern techniques allow researchers to investigate microchimerism using additional genetic differences as well. But discovering the cells raises a much harder question. What are they actually doing? And here, the science becomes complicated. Researchers have investigated possible connections between microchimeric cells and various conditions. In some studies, these cells appear in damaged or diseased tissues. But finding them somewhere does not automatically prove whether they are helping, harming, or simply present. Correlation is not causation, and the biological effects may depend on the type of cell, tissue, individual, and situation. Some hypotheses suggest fetal origin cells could participate in tissue repair. Other research investigates whether microchimerism can influence immune responses in ways that may be beneficial or problematic. Many questions remain unresolved, and that uncertainty matters. Microchimerism does not mean another person's cells are controlling your personality. There is no established evidence that these tiny cell populations transfer memories, consciousness, emotions, or identity. The real phenomenon is already extraordinary without adding claims science cannot support. But pregnancy isn't the only way genetically distinct human cells can appear in a body. Organ and bone marrow transplantation can create much larger and medically intentional forms of chimerism. Blood transfusions can temporarily introduce donor cells. And in rare developmental situations, two embryos can contribute cell populations producing tetragametic chimerism. Human biology has more ways of blurring the boundary between self and other than most of us ever realize. But microchimerism may be the most emotionally striking because of how quietly it happens. The pregnancy ends, years pass, the baby becomes a child, then an adult, the mother grows older. Their lives may move in completely different directions. Yet hidden among billions or trillions of cells, a microscopic biological trace may remain. Not a metaphor, not simply a memory. Actual cells descended from another human body. And the child may carry maternal cells too. Perhaps that's the deepest realization. We often imagine birth as the moment when two bodies become completely separate. Biologically, the story can be more complicated. Pregnancy creates an exchange. Some of it lasts minutes. some months, and some microscopic traces can potentially last for decades. Scientists are still discovering what those cells mean biologically. But their existence alone changes the way we can think about human connection. Long after pregnancy ends, long after a child first opens their eyes, the bodies involved may still carry evidence that they were physically connected in an extraordinary way. If this changed the way you think about the boundaries of the human body, subscribe. Every single day, we uncover another hidden truth about reality, science, space, and the human mind. Because some of the most extraordinary discoveries aren't hidden in distant galaxies, they're inside us. And sometimes, under a microscope, the human body reveals that connection can be more than something we remember. It can leave a living trace,